Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to Ham Radio Adventures with K0PIR. And I'm just playing around with a little bit of HDSDR.
Very nice group today on frequency. All very good signals. We had also Costa Rica on frequency. And we had a lot of nice DX. Many people were happy and many people weren't new ones. So that was great.
And as you can see, we've got real good audio coming out of the 7610. But before you get it set up, make sure that your radio is set up properly. And what we want to do is go into the menu and set up the internal settings of the Icom 7610. And I have some screen captures on my website, www.k0pir.us. But if you've been following along and you've been operating digital modes with your 7610 and you've connected logging software or maybe WSJTX software, you're probably set and ready to go. One thing that I will point out in the menu, when you go to Menu, Set, and Connectors in the Icom 7610, go down to CIV and make sure that it is unlinked from remote. You want to have it unlinked from remote, and in addition to that, you want to make sure that the CIV baud rate, don't have that on auto. So go ahead and set that to 19.2, and then lower the CIV USB baud rate, set that to 115.2. I know if you don't set that one, sometimes the spectrum scope doesn't work with various software. So those are two things to check in the Icom 7610. Okay, well, let's download HDSDR and the IQ package from Icom. What you might want to do is head over to my website, k0pir.us, and check out this post, how to install HDSDR and Icom IQ package for the Icom 7610. And I will have this video posted over there. But I do have an older video that shows Windows 10 Pro, and we will be using Windows 11. And ultimately, we'll have the CW skimmer set up with HDSDR, and that's a real neat tool to use. But at first, you might want to head over to my website, and I mentioned setting up the 7610. You can find the screen captures here on this page, and I do have some notes down here, things to watch out for, so be sure to read, especially number 1 there. But like I said, if you've been using it with ham radio software and it's been working, then you probably already have the driver installed and the necessary software. So let's get back to the topic. How to install HDSDR. And I had it I've had it installed, but I'm going to go ahead and reinstall it for you and go through the steps of installing HDSDR and the IQ package. On my website, down at the bottom, I have the links. And I'm just going to scroll down. And let's do HDSDR first. This is a download link. And in this video, I'm going to walk you through everything. This is the beta version 14 installer, and that's what I've been using. I think I'm on a previous version though, so this will do good for an update for me. So I'm going to go ahead and click on download. And if you get this error message, maybe you have virus software, you want to go ahead and keep it. Keep anyway. And there it's installed. I'm going to go ahead and go to the folder. It opened up on another window. and this is just an executable, and all you have to do is double click on it. This is the first window that comes up. Click on I accept. This is the default location, and it already exists. We're going to install it anyway. I'll just reinstall, and I don't need to create a desktop shortcut or create a quick launch. I think I've already got those. I'll click next. It looks okay, and click install. And I'm not going to launch it because I'm going to show you something pretty neat. I'll click finish. So it's installed, and I have the shortcut on my desktop. And you see I've already got one here. I just copied and made another shortcut, and I named it HDSDR SSB. Okay, so we have HDSDR installed. We'll go back to the web page and let's get the IQ package for HDSDR. And these links after 6 months or a year will probably go dead. So right now they're all working. If you get to a page and it has a blank link, maybe it'll just pop up here. Just type in the IC7610 for the model, click search, and it'll take you to where you need. This is where you can down the IQ package. So I'm going to select this, the IC7610, and this page gives you a little information. The manual you can download from this page. I'll click on I have read and fully understand, and then click download. And I am using Microsoft Edge. I'm going to click on the folder, show you where it is, and then I right click on it and go down to extract all. So this is a package that goes with the high-speed port on the 7610. You may have already been using the USB driver, USB 2, and the driver for that, and maybe your logging programs, maybe WSJTX. Well, this adds the high-speed cable, and with that we'll use HDSDR. So I'm going to go ahead and extract that, and it opens up to this window. I'll double click, and I have a 64-bit. Every time I open that program, it blanks out the monitor, and I'm just clicking on yes. So I want to set it up English, and then this last window, welcome to it, and go ahead, click next, and it's going to choose the destination. This is the same default location. Next. You can connect your cable and then power on your radio. And when you do that, go to Device Manager. It's real easy. Just type in DEV and you'll see it come up. Type in Device Manager, go to it, and you're looking for this IC7610 IQ out port. And if you get that, then you're ready to go. So either install HDSDR. I install it first and then install the IQ package, because the IQ package puts files into the HDSDR folder. Let me show you. It installs it into Program Files 86, and it installs into the HDSDR folder. It installs this, and it installs the extio DLL file, and we need those. It also installs this little Icom folder, and it's got the backup data in there. So if you see that in Device Manager, then you're ready to go. If you don't, then I would suggest start all over and try it again. Restart your computer, disconnect the cables, power off the radio, restart the computer, and go through the setup again, or the uninstall and then the setup again. So you definitely need this showing up in the Universal Serial Bus Controllers IC7610 IQ out. And let's go back to HDSDR. And this is the one we're going to be using. And I'm going to right click on it. You can rename it real easy. And again, I'm using Windows 11 in this video. Just go to rename and you can change the name of it. But what I want to show you to do is make a profile. Because I have one for sideband, I have one for the CW skimmer narrow and the CW skimmer wide. So I'll have these three different icons, and it's nice to have these because you do have to change settings if you want to go back and forth in HDSDR between CW skimmer and just using it for going up and down the phone portion of the band. The neat thing that I recommend you do is create a profile and just right click on it, go down to properties, and at the end of this target there is, at the end of that exe, there's a quotations, and we want to leave that in there, but we want to space over and then put in P and then whatever you want to name it. And I've named it SSB. So every time I open this, it'll come back to the same profile. I'm going to click OK. And I have already reset this, so when I open it up, it'll be just like you've had it. It'll be just like yours, opening for the first time. And of course, it opened up another window. But we got it open, so this is the first time I've had it open, and since I've had it running before, it has picked up the Icom 7610. It's in the files, the configuration files, and it had already picked it up. But I'm going to show you exactly what you need to do. If you don't get the screen, you don't hear any sound coming out. Let's go first to the SDR device. And when you click on it, it brings up a window. And under sampling rate, we want 1.92 megahertz. The bandwidth is 1.66 megahertz, 16-bit. Main we're going to listen to. And under sync mode, I'm going to click on full sync in both directions. That's how I typically use it. You can use it an independent tune if you want to have a third receiver. If two aren't enough for you, you can have a third receiver. I've found this works just fine. Let me mute this guy and go back to that. Okay, and then this is the settings in the radio. The antenna 1, preamp off, attenuator off, RF gain is set to max. I'd have these unchecked. Tuning is 1, and I really I was looking in here for 0.5, but it didn't bring that up. So 1 kilohertz, and I can just go ahead and check that. Let's see what this is. I haven't looked on this before. USB dial settings, not in use. Okay. I don't have a USB dial. So if you had a USB dial, I'm using my mouse wheel, but if you had a USB dial, and actually I do have one, Larry, WB2EFO, talked me into one at the Breakfast Club picnic. He had one and gave it to me. So I'm going to have to plug it in and see if I can get it to work. So that's how you set up the IQ settings, and you're going to go ahead and click the X to close it. And next, down on the sound card, click it. And we're setting this up for a phone or sideband, so I want to listen to the audio coming out of the PC speakers. And mine, I've been using the headphones. I also use a mute mate, which is a web SDR companion. It mutes the audio coming out of the PC speakers when I'm using a web SDR, and that way I don't hear myself on there. So I've been using the headphones. I'm going to go ahead and select that. And then the next we'll go to bandwidth. And the sampling rate, I'm surprised that didn't already be, I'm surprised that wasn't already selected. 1,920 kilohertz, 192,000. And the output, I like 24,000. You can go to 48, and you can see this narrows up, or you can go to 96, it gets even narrower. But when I'm listening to phone or sideband, I just have it on 2400. I'll click the X to close it. And then we go down to options. And there's a lot of options in here, and don't let it intimidate you. Using this for listening to sideband, we only are going to touch on a couple of things. The first is select the input, and that's probably already selected in your software since we clicked on the SDR device and set that up. So the Icom 7610 is selected. And then the input channel mode for RX is the default. I left, Q right. That's the default. We're getting this from the audio cable, high-speed cable. And then on the output, AF to both channels. So the output, I'm listening to the headphones. So we get the audio to both channels. That's the default. And we don't need to do anything else. Really, there's nothing in here to do. You can go in and play around with this, but the way I've been using it is just to listen up and down the band quickly. And the scope on the Icom 7610 is really useful. But I was disappointed that we couldn't hook a mouse up to it and really use the LCD on the front of the 7610 and click change modes and change filters and all that stuff. If we hook one up, we can point and click and change frequencies, and that's it. With HDSDR, you get to do a little bit of both of those. You get some rig control and you get to point and click. And you have a lot of other options. So it's nice to have it up on the big TV, or not the big TV, but the big computer monitor. And this, you can see it looks pretty jumbled up there. I'm just going to go over to average, and we'll get it set up just so you can listen and test it out for yourself. So I bumped that up. Now you can see the signals in there real good. I've got it on mute. I'll unmute it. And just to jump over, have the volume right here. Have the AGC threshold. If you're not hearing anything, maybe that's set wrong for you. Right in the middle is good for me. AGC set to medium. You can play around with these. Some of them are really helpful. The most helpful thing that I've found is just to play with the filtering. Just narrow it up and eliminate some of that noise. And I can turn the RF gain down some too. If I hear there's a strong signal. Okay, so that's real simple. It's going to follow the transceivers. Transceivers going to follow the software. And the low A, or local oscillator A, and tune going to be on the same frequency. If I see another strong signal, I'll click on it. Every time I go down and click on it, you'll notice it jumps to the center. And my spectrum scope on my radio is set to fixed. And actually, I'm looking at a different portion of the band on the 7610. But it does jump to the center. This stays in the center. Now, I've found that if I change the from fixed to center on my 7610 spectrum scope, now I'm viewing at center, and I like the scroll center on the 7610. Now, when I click, let's go over here. It'll still go over to the center of the screen. And if I get down Let me zoom out just a little bit. I think this will show it a little bit better if I see a signal down here and click on it. It always brings it back to the center. So I was looking for a way to keep this stable, keep this frozen so I could jump around. If you know of a way to do that, hit me up in the comments. If you have any other questions, please comment below. Okay, well that does it for this video. Thanks for watching. If you haven't already, click on that subscribe button and ring that bell so you're notified when I put out a new video. You'll want to see the next video. I'll be setting up CW Skimmer, and that's a little bit more complicated. So thanks for watching. I hope to hear you on the bands 73 and good DX.